So welcome back, everybody, as we join the second session of the day for the Integral European Conference, and really a worldwide conference with everybody joining us from around the world. It's my pleasure to warmly welcome Anna Storck, and she's going to be talking about integral online learning, the benefits and the challenges. And Anna is a researcher, she's an educator, an entrepreneur, and an innovator. She's had a 30-year career in the field of consulting, training, and education. So you are definitely in good hands. And Anna really always works with a focus on transformative learning and now on transformative blended learning. And she has developed a Train the Trainer integral course, a certified online program. And one of the things that Anna loves is, well, many things, is that she loves the fluidity of her soul, the mind, and spirit, while she creates a wider, deeper, and more transformative educational space. So in the light of her purpose, she will be talking about a lot of this in today's session. We'll talk about the strategies for creating an engaging learning online experience, and we'll discuss the potential opportunities that brings and any of the limits that this integral education framework might also bring. So today we'll have a breakout with multiple opportunities for you to share. We'll be collaborating along the way, and also, so if you cannot join a breakout room, we understand, but we would encourage your full participation if that's possible. Throughout the session, if you have a burning question, go ahead and type them into the chat. Otherwise, we will actually have a Q&A session at the end where we'll bring you live. So with that said, Anna, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Great. Welcome everybody. Warm welcome from my side. Integral online learning. Yes, it provides many benefits for all participants around the world who want flexibility on the journey of self-discovery and unfolding the uniquely comprehensive and dynamic approach. But on the other hand, we all, educators and learners, also face some unique challenges when trying to engage in really truly transformative learning experience online. So let's talk about it, and let me share some slides with you. Here we go. Gabriel, thank you for introducing me. I will just let you know very briefly who am I. I put it actually on LinkedIn, integral educator, entrepreneur, innovator, and it is probably the best way to describe what I do and why I do it. I'm passionate about education, both learning and teaching, and about integral approach, about transformative learning. I'm interested really on reflecting, reading, and learning about all these learning environments and learning experiences, especially the ones that emerge through our online communities. So that involves collaborative and cooperative work, and sometimes working in groups with debates or many other ways. I will mention also that's important for me because I spent a couple of years in New Zealand, that Maori language, they have only one word for learning and teaching. And it was very inspired for me. So ako means to learn, study, instruct, teach, advise. And ako, to consult together, to practice, to train, to teach. So this is all about where I'm coming from and my approach to education, my integral approach to education, my transformative learning, my online blended learning. But mine, it's not about me. I would like to know who you are. It's about you. It's about us together. So I would like to know who you are. And I don't know if you know Mentimeter. Here's the link for Mentimeter. You can click the link. Maybe Gabriel, be so kind and put the link again into the chat. Are you able to do it? Otherwise, I can make it very quickly. Okay. Are you able to join the chat?
Yes, the Mentimeter link is in the chat. So you can go
Beautiful.
ahead and click that.
Beautiful. So the question is, what are 1 or 2 words you particularly associate with facilitating transformative online experience for others? So are you able to enter?
Yes, it's working.
Beautiful. I'm always happy when it's working. Great. So when you finish with the first questions, you can go on your own to the second one. So I see some, yes, I see it, present engagement. So those are the words you particularly associate with facilitating transformative experience for others. Great. Growth, energy, change. Great. Friendless, support, challenge. Yeah, yes, we will talk about it. Engaging, yes, how to engage participants, how to make them enjoy the session online. Attentive listening. Beautiful. Thank you very much. So, and what about your own transformative learning experience? Curiosity, development, meaningful, presence, embodiment. Great. Timing, time management, questions. I see, beautiful. Okay, okay. No challenges, no challenges. I see in terms of technological challenges, but we will come back to it. Thank you for doing it. I really appreciate. I will come back to my slides and go slowly with you through what I prepare for you. I would like to talk about integral approach to education. So what does it mean, integral? You all know probably. Let me know if someone is unfamiliar with the integral approach with the five parameters of AQUAL map from Wilber. So I will probably not able to spend time of explaining you in detail, but according to Wilber, the integral map is made up to 5 elements. What I will show you, these quadrants, level, line, states, and types, how to apply them to education, to this learning, teaching environment. So yes, it is 100 integral. So let me share first with some slides with you where I attempt to apply this beautiful integral map approach to education. You will also find some article and additional reading. Gabriel will share a link with you later on when you can download everything. But now let's move it. So what is it? What is it when we take this beautiful, comprehensive framework and apply it to education? For me, for educators, trainers, etc., this integral model provides an effective template to design pedagogy, classroom activities, evaluation, courses, curriculum. You know, deriving on these 5 elements of quadrants, levels, lines, states, and types, we as a teacher can be sure to include more essential aspects of education space. And they are coming from different science, from these goodies. I will talk about it. Pedagogy, andragogy, heutagogy, cybergogy, pedagogy. They're all these goodies, what to do with them and how to apply them and how to make most out of them. So I know that integral means many different things to many people. And the same is true for integral education. But in one sense, for me, integral has become a generic attractor for progressive and or in reform and or alternative and or transformative educational theories of all flavors. So this integral approach can embrace and support a critical evaluation of, most of the values and deep principles embodied in progressive thoughts. So here we are. Let's go very briefly through these 4 quadrants and see that integral education involves considering the individual and collective aspect of teacher and students. So you know these 4 quadrants, those dimensions are actually aspects of the world that are always present in each moment. The educational space has all these 4 dimensions that are equally important, and they must be included in the multiple ways: subjective experience, objective behavior, intersubjective culture, intersubjective system. So how to do it? I try. This is still in term, it's still in progress. I try to put it as a map, this integral education, and view from the 4 aspects. From the educational experience, where you can take the contemplative inquiry, critical reflection, somatic knowing. On the other side, you have this educational behavior, skillful action, practical application, active observation, and so on, as a teacher, as an educator, as a facilitator, as a trainer. We have our educational culture. Yeah, we have this ethical participation, perspectives, connection. So all is there. So what I used to say to my trainees is that each of those 4 dimensions has depth and complexity that develops over the time. And this development can be facilitated. This is what integral education is all about. And the integral educators need to monitor how they are meeting their students and where their students are, developmentally, and make sure not place anything over their heads. So this is the first, the same as when you go to lines. It is really, this is crucial to attend the multiplied development lines in us as well in our students. And this for me, this involves really understanding of the complex relationship between us, between the capacity to take these multiplied perspectives that will be cognitive line. I'm able to recognize there are different lines of development. Then to interact in meaningful ways with others. That will be interpersonal life. I see your faces. I see you listening to me. I like have interaction with people and see where they are and try to connect with them. So this is something like you need to make this balance between your input when you are pouring your knowledge or insights, and this what it means to open the hearts and minds of your students. So that's why I'm looking right and left, because I see my slides here, I see you here, your faces, and I try to balance it between. So then we have also need to engage in world-centric ethical action, the moral line, and so on and so on. Let me know if I am too quick. Raise your hand, and if you need it slower, or it's okay, my pace, and I'll go on. So tell me it's okay, go on. Cool. So this is another approach to take another aspect, levels, and put it from the perspective of integral education. So you see, integral education understands that all these lines evolve in stages or levels, and that each human being passes through those levels, and we cannot skip it, any of those. And those levels are actually associated with this really worldviews we have. Let's name the last 4, these traditional worldviews: modern, postmodern, and integral. So each of those worldview has its own, unfortunately, own preferred behaviors, experience, culture, and system. So you need to know where you are coming from, and you need to know, acknowledge where are your students. And again, in order to not placing anything over their heads. I could choose Polish, which is my mother tongue, and I feel very comfortable in Polish, but doesn't make any sense because you would not understand me. So you see the point. We sometimes need to put ourselves in uncomfortable situation and position and choose the best way to approach our students with all this complexity and keep all these elements in mind. So 2 more are states and types. I must recognize and work really creatively with the many natural and not ordinary states of embodiment and awareness. I need to acknowledge it. And you see, the more I can support my students in accessing various gross, subtle, causal, and witnessing states, the more fluid they will be in their own embodiment awareness. And this is already a challenge, I guess you can. And when we put it online, it will be a huge challenge, but a huge benefits as well, how to manage it. And the last one, we have types, because there are many types of learners and dimensions of learning. Me or you as educators, we need to work with multiplied typologies in order to provide the most, really most responsive and effective educational space. So you know this typical categories like we have 5 senses, we have gender, we have personality, we have preferred native style, first, second, third person. And then we have different categories of listeners and the students. They prefer to listen something, some prefer to work individually, some prefer to have some work group in small groups. So they are everything there, and you have to keep it into your mind when you are creating a curriculum, when you are providing online courses, when you are preparing your material. So again, all together, I never done it in, okay, it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So it's good on time to go through the all integral approach to education and show you this complexity. So integral approach to education, here we are all together. The most important thing when you take with you today is that it is transformative praxis. Education is transformative praxis where learner and teacher, facilitator, teacher, trainer, coach, educators, they can, if they want and they are willing to, engage in transformative process through various practices of awareness, interaction, and organization. So this is, you see, this is the most important thing. You can take it with us. And maybe the second one, I love this picture. Really, if we teach today students as we taught yesterday, we rob them of tomorrow. Okay, so I put on LinkedIn an article about integral approach to education and few recommended movies. You will see that smartphones change, telephone change, cars change, but the classroom haven't changed for last 200 years. We still put kids in the row. We still ask them to raise their hands. We still have prepared curriculum. So there's nothing changed or not a lot change in this mainstream education. Okay, so this is so far so good. I will later on explain you and show you my integral trainer, because I would like to introduce to the 2 practical examples where applying of integral education and share my experience with you on working on train the trainer online and working in a beautiful transformative blended learning project. So this I will share my experience in a minute, but I would like you to share your own experience and your own good practice. So I would like to move to you with you to breakout rooms right now. If you are, how many people we are here? 20. So it will be good, because in the huge session, it's really difficult to hear all the voices. You don't have to go. You can stay in the main room, but it will be 10 minutes. 10 minutes where I would like to ask you, what does it mean for you to apply this integral approach to education in practice? Did you try it already? Okay, did you meet already educators who try to apply this integral approach to education? So please share your thoughts and examples in small group. Tell who you are, a little bit about your backgrounds, why you are interested in education and integral and online education, and share a little bit your experience. Do not touch blended right now, because I will move it to in the second part. So I go step by step, integral, learning, online. So now it was integral, learning, and I will move to online in a minute. So Gabriel, if you be so kind and make a breakout rooms for us and put people in pairs, so there's a good conversation with each other. And please listen, deep listening and mindfulness. Listen to each other, because this is, we can access the wisdom and experience of each other. And try to make these patterns of blended or not blended, transformative education visual for each other. Right? So how does your own learning, teaching, facilitating practice mirror the integral approach to education? Please go ahead.
Excellent. I have pasted that question into the chat, so that will show up in your breakout room as well. I'm putting everyone in rooms of 2. If you find yourself in a room alone because for some reason somebody cannot participate, then I will end up joining you, and one or two of you might be in a room with a third person. So with that said, here you go. Feel free to accept the invite.
Thank you, Gabriel.
And Kajal, are you just now joining us? No, he's going to a room. Got it.
Beautiful. Daniel, why people always leave as soon as we announce breakout rooms? It happens to me in every session.
Yes, because what'll happen is not everyone can participate, and they're in maybe a family situation. Somebody's cooking dinner, or they're room hopping like Bensei is. And well, I put Bensei in a separate room anyway, and so that he wouldn't be put into a room. But yeah, and then so that's why I always announce that we will have breakout rooms at the beginning of a session. But maybe I should make it more clear that they can stay in the main room if they're not able to participate, and then we'll come back.
Spontaneously, I will get rid of the second breakout room.
Okay.
And instead of this, maybe you can share this Jamboard in the main room.
The Jamboard, yes.
Exactly, and we all together can collaboratively.
I like that because we're a small group.
It's better.
Yep.
Exactly.
I agree. So that is the Jamboard link. Got it. So and Kati is just now joining us. So just so you know, Kati, we are in a breakout. So you feel free to hang out for a minute if you like. We can catch you up, unless you're room hopping. Welcome, Gudrun. Were you here a moment ago, or are you just arriving?
I'm just arriving.
Welcome, welcome. We're
maybe
currently.
Gudrun, sorry, Gabriel. For Gudrun and Kati, I will share slides again with you without talking, so you know what you missed. And just have a look a little bit. If you have questions, you can ask me. So we create our own breakout rooms right now before others joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We are talking about integral approach to education, and they are sharing right now their own experience with working with this integral approach as educator or facing some challenges as a learner. So I will just, go to the slides and you can read it, and I give you 5 minutes, and then you catch up with us. And
thank you. Sorry for being late.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So here we go.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hey, Kati, nice to see you. Congratulations on your credential.
Thank you.
We have Earl joining us as well. Welcome.
Exactly. I'm just sharing the slides without talking, without my input, and just for you to catch up what you have missed in this 20 minutes. This is approach which an attempt to apply integral approach to education and try to put all these elements for AQUAL and apply them to education and how created spaces. So have a look. I always keep talking to my students, your participants, they are able to read. So here you are, my slides, and you can read them on your own, in your own pace. And we are going until 11:35, Gabriel,
yes,
with the breakout room?
Yes, for some reason I set the timer for 20 minutes, but that was a mistake. So 11:35, I'll give them a 3-minute warning.
Beautiful. So you see the 4 quadrants? I will move to lines. They are attempt to see education on the different level as they emerge as a different world of view.
With the children.
Sorry, say again.
With the children.
With the children.
Okay.
I personally do not work with children. I do with adults.
Ah, okay. I just thought because there was a child before, so.
Okay, I love children. It's just a picture. Yeah. So you have then different educational states. You have adult here, student. I work at the academia as the university lecturer, and I work in a business as a consultant. So adults are mostly my audience. But I am a mother of 3, so I am a teacher at home. And you see also different types. And I put everything in one. So this is this integral approach to education in 3-dimensional, where you see all dimension quadrants, lines, and stages, levels, types. And this is what I sum up in the end, that for me, integral education is a transformative practice. I will talk about it later on. And this practice is where both sides, learner and teacher, both of them, they engage in this transformative process. So it's not only me, teacher, pouring something in you students, but we learn from each other, with each other, co-creation. And I will talk about it later in terms of heutagogy and pedagogy. This really good new trends who are emerging right now a couple of years ago. And why we do it? This was what last slide I showed before we left in breakout rooms. Why we do it? Because we don't want to rob the tomorrow of our students. So this is what you missed in this small introduction to integral. And now they share their own experience and good practice. So we have 4 minutes. If you would like to say me or to say to each other, to share with you, what does it mean to apply integral? What does it mean to apply integral to education in praxis? So how does your own learning, teaching praxis mirror this integral approach?
I think for me it's important to have all equals sort of while I'm teaching. So to integrate body, which is often not there, have like an overview also for everybody, bringing in the different levels of the equals.
And it will be really challenging when we were talking about the online or blended learning, embodiment and online.
Yeah, there's so many embodiments now, also online. Actually, Maud is very good in that. And we can, it's unusual, but we can do it.
That's true. Thank you for this, Kathy. It reminds me that I will catch up with this embodiment during my session today as well.
Yeah. And I teach a lot of meditation. So for me, embodiment is also always there. Yeah. And people have to, I do mini meditations online. So it's cool. It's works.
Great.
We have a few people joining us. Just so you know, Angela and Victoria, we are in a breakout sessions at the moment, and we'll be bringing people back in a few minutes, and we'll get back.
But we are right now in our own breakout rooms in the main session, and we are talking about how does my own learning, teaching, facilitating practice mirror integral approach to education. So if you would like to share something, you are very welcome. So how does your own experience, how they mirror this integral approach to education? And Katie just mentioned embodiment and meditation as important aspect of learning when we think in this holistic way. So please share with us your experience.
So I would like to continue. So for me, to have little silences and to raise awareness for the body is important too. And the last years, I often experienced resistance or not. So my favorite is to have a more open process-orientated learning. But it was important for me to understand that people start from different points. So it might feel too insecure or not worthwhile. And now I experiment with offering some stairs. So a little input. Why is it necessary to have some insecurity to learn? What is learning? So what is a dialogue? What to offer a landscape through phases where people can expect afterwards all this chaos may be less. Instead of just inviting them and asking them to trust it and to try it, to give them more orientation.
That's great. I like it. I like it very much. Keep your
We have 1 more
curiosity
minute.
and openness.
I can close the rooms when you're ready, just so you know. Thank you, Gudrun.
Thank you.
Great. I'll close the rooms.
Coming.
And there will be 60 seconds. And then I was an educator for 15 years before I became a coach. So I was doing train the trainer stuff. I was teaching technology. But one thing that supported me was, I didn't know it then, but I was paying attention to people's states. Were they feeling, closed down, or were their state, was it open? Because if the state is more open and connected to their subtle body, and they were more attentive, more able to be in focus. But if they were including their gross body, then it was easier. So we would do a little movement, maybe take a few breaths before we would dive in, and people seemed to be more open. Anyways, just a little addition from the state's perspective.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you,
we Gabriela. We have 10 seconds left. I'm sorry, Angela, that worked a lot with state.
Do you have sometimes a time pressure, like you would like do this and this and this and this and this, and then you need to prioritize what is important? Yeah, in the end, what is important? How I can serve my participant, my audience best. Yeah, it's not only I'm so fancy and I can do this and this and this, but asking yourself what they need. So we already start, and I'm happy that you are back from your breakout rooms. We create our little breakout rooms here with people who were joining us a little bit later. So please share with us some insights from you working in the breakout room. So what is your experience? What is your experience of applying integral approach, this beautiful framework, comprehensive framework to education? Here we go.
Yeah, if you'd love to share, please use the reactions button to raise your hand, or you'll find that in the participants panel if you don't see it there, and then we'll go through. Maybe to kick us off, Angela, did you have something to share? I saw you were unmuted.
I only want to say sorry that I'm late, and to this point, I think for me about being willing to be extremely flexible, and sometimes letting go of everything that I've planned. If I'm tuned into the room and the people that are actually there and what's happening in the moment, that for me, that's the most important thing and the most productive place to start and to work.
Thank you for this, Angela. I like it. It's so important to be open and see what wants to come up and be able to react to it. Beautiful. Anybody else would like to share with us something what's happening in breakout rooms?
I see no hands, so feel free to unmute yourself if you have something to share. What came up for you? Did a new insight emerge that you didn't expect?
It was Reto.
Well, actually, I'm eager to know more about them. I'm relatively old already, so my first experience in lecturing were in the 70s. Still doing presentations, but I've never ever had an integral approach. My approach was actually to, if you're really present to the audience and know what you're talking about and being with them, then you can play actually, and a lot of energy actually flows from the audience. So it's kind of a dance. If I'm well prepared and be able to really get what the audience, the energy of the audience is showing to me, then there is a dance, and this is fabulous actually. But now to put this into really the 4 quadrants and all the dimensions, I'm eager to know more about that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Roto. Probably you have already intuitively, based on your experience, you have act properly. Like, no, I like what you're saying, preparedness. I used to say to my students and trainer, a good trainer spends 70% of his or her time on preparation and 30% of performance. Yes. And the bad one, opposite, you know? Just a little bit preparation and then he or she thinks I will be fine, but it's not true. So preparation, definitely. And the second you mentioned, I like it very much, energy, to feel what is there and take it and be open to it. Angela mentioned this as well, to see what's emerged and don't just go with your curriculum and your plan, but because sometimes you have to and you need it to change it. Yeah. Thank you for pointing this out. Beautiful. Do we have any others?
Elka has her hand up.
Yes, I was together in the group with Reto, and we found out that we're just a few kilometers away from each other, so that was nice. Yeah, so my experience is a bit more current. I'm teaching academic writing at the University of Freiburg, which, as I told him, is sort of the last thing that I do at university, because as an integralist, it's always a little bit frustrating to be in the mainstream educational system, which is why we founded the Institute for Integral Studies in the first place. But this is sort of a place where they teach like what they call it, key competences, like broader competences that go beyond the disciplines. So that's something that I continue to do, because I also had a very important learning experience during my PhD around it that I would like to share to students. And what I try to do there in the course is really to have the course as an integral course, because it's really about a whole person experience of learning. In my perspective, that the whole issue of academic writing is more about academic thinking, and people need to learn to think, which is not necessarily the case when they come into it. I do things like, meditation exercises disguised as writing exercises with them, so they can learn to distinguish various things going on in their head, in their consciousness, and not just formal thinking, not just cognition, but also emotion and all the rest of it, and try to become aware of that first, and aware of how this implements how they work, or how it blocks them from being focused, and so on and so forth. So that's part of what I do there. And that's just the thing that I enjoy doing. Otherwise, I couldn't do it. So that's why I thought I have to make the course integral. Otherwise, I get bored. I get a problem with my purpose.
Beautiful. Thank you, Elka, for sharing it. It's great. It's great. It's not only to take into account all these aspects, but really make it happen. Make it real. And then I will move in the second part of the presentation, how to make it happen online on top, and what kind of challenges we are facing when we try to do it in integral manner online. Anybody else would like to share something about the experience, or am I allowed to move
well on? Actually, I just
Okay.
wanted to say one quick thing, and then if that's okay, because one thing that really came to me is we have this complex integral theory, but Rito was saying, I didn't really know about integral. I was just an educator. But as you were speaking, I heard integral, my dashboard was lighting up all over the place. I heard a lower left, upper left, so I'm thinking, well, how could we use this lens to see what we're already doing well? Where are we showing up? And then what are the areas that aren't lighting up? What parts of the aquil are not that we're underutilizing, that we could bring more attention to and bring those into our facilitation, such that it becomes more holistic experience for people. So in that way, it just made me curious to use it as a lens to see it both in terms of where we're overemphasizing or where we're underemphasizing. So just wanted to add that on I don't know if we have time. We have Helen and Victoria with their hands up. Do you have time for 2 more questions, or do you need to move?
Yes, sure. But you know, always when we decide for the discussion, there is still some topic coming, you know, online blended learning. And I always say, participants, it's your choice. And then if you go for this, we stick here, and then Gabriel will say, our time is over. But it's okay. When it's important, we stick to it. If not, we move on.
All right, we'll have 2 more questions, Helen and then Victoria.
I just wanted to share an insight I received when I was listening to the presentation and talking to my breakout partner, that I started thinking about the learning part of the teaching and realizing that often when I go into the teaching, I kind of want to fix or change or manipulate the people that I am teaching. And coming from it, why do I want them to think differently? Why do I want them to be a different person than what they are? So this was like a light bulb for me, is to kind of really see where they are and who they are, and take more of this approach of what is it like to be you, and where do you want to go, and then come from that and give that. So that was a very nice insight for me. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Helen. And Victoria, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to add on what Gabriel said, actually, because I'm a photographer and I've been teaching photography for 7 years. And last year I opened an online photography school, and it was in spring, and in May I attended first time Integral conference. And that's exactly what I did, what Gabriel said. I took those 4 quadrants and I wrote down everything that I've already done. And I saw that I don't have yet the community of my students. And I started working towards this, and I created Facebook group and everything. So it really helped me to see those blank spots and to fill them in with different practices. I also added to my school meditations and psychology small exercises to open up creativity, not only giving them information on how to hold camera and everything, but also coming from other sides so that people open up, and I give them lots of support and approval, appraisal, right? So that they feel more confident to continue with their creativity. So that's my experience, and Integral conference actually helped me last year.
Beautiful, beautiful, great. So this is already what we are talking about. Is this peerology? You know, we learn from each other, and I need to acknowledge that there are so many people to have something to share, and this is learning what's already happened when you listen to each other. So thank you for this. Thank you for sharing. And I would say we move to this, what has happened when we try at least to make Integral online. And if applying Integral to education is already a challenge, do it online, make it even bigger. So I have something to share with you, and I move on with 100% blended Integral online learning. So blended means for me that some learning happens online in a format face-to-face, and when the format where participants have control over the path and pace at which they engage with content. Some learning happens online with instructor-led classroom. So as now I'm here, but I'm not with you, but we have a live session. Some learning happens online with the peer group. So I will show you right now my applying Integral to education to my trainer. And we are using this team communication apps with Slack, with beautiful features like one-to-one and group chat, individual and team calls, and video conferencing, and drag and drop PDF image video. So you see, there are so many different applications. I will come back to this in a moment, but I'm so keen on my students learning from each other when I open my Integral classroom. So this is example for some on courses that I provide. And later on, I will give you also access to one of these courses, so you can I'm happy that we're for free. You can go there and have a look and take part in one of the sessions. So it's not only theory what's happening to you. I'm inviting you to be a part in this year of one of these courses and see how it happens online, because I'm not able in 1.5 hours to say everything and give your own input. But if you have time, you are happy. I'm happy when you join us on one or another journey. So here we are. This is the integral approach to my trainer training. So you see all this theory, quadrants, lines, and when some of you already have done intuitively in your praxis, I have done it. I'm academic. I'm very cognitive person. So I took this integral approach and I spent times of thinking, how can I apply everything to my trainer models? And I would like to that the trainer bit take both components of conventional and alternative approaches and bring them all in a really fuller, wider, deeper, more transformative educational space where I don't say this is bad, that this is wrong, and I choose one. I would love to create this transformative space and honoring each of them and transcending limits of all of them. So this allows trainers to continually, from my point of view, transform themselves, create this multidimensional training curriculum, serve their customers and students and trainers, and really, really participate compassionately with each other, supporting all health, dynamics, and global system. You see, for me, the starting point was, I told you, this is transformative praxis. So the growth increased through integration and balance. So we grow together and we integrate what we have learned. So this was the one, and that's the we system. You see the quadrants also as well. So you recognize the quadrants. They are not like Wilbur, the trainer essence. It's what is the most important part of me. Then I teach the trainer about their presence, all this stuff, how to be fully present, how to control your body, how to control your verbal communication, how to make the best out of you. And then we move to trainer in the group, how to communicate and how to work with each other, how to engage in transformative process through this various praxis. And then finally, that's what we all need, is cognitive, it's methodology, it's tools, it's all this materials and what was important to know for trainer to at least go and start it. So you see, that was challenge 2011 to create this training, but the challenge happened really when I flipped it 2016, when we flipped my classroom and start to use several beautiful application, Microsoft Teams, Chanty, Hangouts, Ledox. My students working on the assignments using the project groups and project management application, Trello and Asana. We use Miro for beautiful co-creativity and Canvas for the final assignment. So there are so many tools out there, and it's what it's meant for me really what you Reto said, being well prepared. So I have made a research, I have seen what is out there, and I will show you this peerology, heutology, and cybergogy. This cybergogy, it was the coin what was coined a couple years ago, and describe the strategies for creating engaged learning online. So you need this knowledge. It's not enough to have intuition. You need that knowledge, what is out there in the field, and consciously apply it. And when you take this integral approach, you know where is missing something on my sides, where I need to improve myself, and how to make it holistic and complete for my students. So it is both the knowledge what is in the field and the framework which you fill with your information. So you see that it is becoming clear that with today's tools and some understanding on how to go about it, we have groups of self-directed learners out there. They can organize their own courses and they can organize their own work, but they need a little bit navigation from your source. So it is how I come to peerology. This is organized pedagogy, and heutagogy, which is a study of self-determined learning about what is important. So let's have a look at all these gojis right now. Yeah, you can see them now. Who is familiar with all this goji? Who have never heard anybody about the Heuta peer and cybergoji? So something new for you, or it's old? Because it's not new. It's not from last year. This is already 10 years on the market. Okay. So you see, for me, when I look at all this goji, not because I'm geek, educational geek. For me, the most important part from my experience working in the field for 30 years is this paragogy and pedagogy, sharing power. Sharing power. So I mean, empowering students. The more I give my teacher power to my students, I encourage them to take more responsibility on their own learning. The more they show me how to redesign my own way of teaching. So this is this pedagogy. I'm learning with them. I'm a teacher and I'm a learner all the time for whole my year. So what is important? Sharing, interactivity, and collaboration. We had learned that learning to collaborate ought to be a collaborative. So the students should interact with other students in the classes, really co-responsible learners during the collaboration process. So not just an audience for the final product. It's such important. And then what else is there coming? Sharing responsibility, shared meanings. So this all, it's why I mean the pedagogy is for me that's focused. That's most important aspect of applying integral to education. But we are today heute talking about the cybergogy, this digital pedagogy. And I mean, this is important for us to see and face the challenge. And I will move to it in a minute. Cybergogy for engaged learning model is created by Dr. Wang, and he is from San Diego State University. And this model is probably synthesizing, this is kind of synthesis of current thinking, concept, theoretical frameworks on the extent and nature that we all these dimensions in learner online engagement take into account. So that's probably the easier way to introduce cybergogy. And you see all of them, I added pedagogy, andragogy, hoidagogy, all of them had their own dependence. So relation, how the students are dependent on the teacher. They have all their own reason for learning. Why we are here? Why are my students coming to my courses? So what are a motivation for learning? They are all different focus on learning, and they have all different role of the teacher. So I really encourage you to dive deeper in all these gojis for your own sake of learning as a teacher before you go out to your students. You are already amazing teacher, I'm sure about it, but never stop learning and you can be even better. So this is where I'm coming from. Never stop learning and never stop filing on yourself, on your personality, on your teaching material, on your consciousness. Because what you have, all doors which open to you on the way your consciousness will open, you open the doors for your students. You know, they take it from you. I don't know how it works, but they take it from you. So I think this is very, very quickly what I will move to the second project, and then we will have possibility to check your competences and to name the competences we needed to navigate in this all complex online learning and integral learning and transformative learning. And we will not work in the breakout rooms, we will work collaboratively on the Jamboard together, adding something what is missing in my presentation today. Are you okay with this? Okay, I see you knocking. Yes? It was something like, Gabriel, was it you?
Well, I was just going to say,
Yes.
we seem to be quite engaged, and now we have 18. We could create breakouts if you want, maybe so more people have a chance to share on their Jamboard. It's up to you.
Okay, so let me know your. Let's make it democratic. I have breakout rooms where I would like to. It's not this one. It's another breakout room. I have a breakout room where I would like you to talk about your. Okay, stop. Step by step. I will come back to this question. I will show you something about this project, and I will ask you the questions which I would like to go with you through breakout rooms, and you will say me, democratic, you are going in breakout room, or we are staying in this room together. So this is a plan. So first of all, the second project, because the second project, we were working on blended transformative learning for social ecological transition. And we can create in a framework of competences-based learning, which focus on outcomes as well as learner real world. So in this project, we create a template for competences, a kind of chart, which I would like to show you. This is a visual assessment system, which illustrates the full set of competences we need to have. So that's a little bit exercise for you before we go to breakout rooms if it's still needed. So first, for you to understand this competencies as a framework is actually originated in 1970s. Then we start to move from this narrow with concept of skill and knowledge. And hence competencies thinking emerge from recognition that every job, whatever you do, requires specific set of competencies to do it well. So, and the same as for us, online educators. I mean, the world. I've been there 20 years ago, and then it was like, oh come on, we still need face-to-face teaching. I was there 10 years ago, and these people still was not ready, and COVID pushed us into it and make it happen. And this is where our future are coming from. So this is competences we will need, and this competences framework actually covers several aspects. But I choose only two. You will find in download, we will give you access to the share folder. You will find our intellectual outputs out of this project. And you will find all this blended learning competences map in download. And you can do it on your own. You can use for your own praxis. I choose only two for mapping your blended learning competencies. So not your competencies as a trainer, not your competencies as facilitator, not your technical competencies, only blended competencies. So here we are. And I would like to talk later in the breakout rooms about the rewards and challenges, and about your needs. Okay, sorry, I'm just having so much in my head because I'm just changing our presentation on the go. I would like to talk about your needs, about your resources, and about your limits. Okay, I would like to talk about resources, needs, and limits regarding blended learning. Okay, so we can do it right now together in the room. So this is why I would like to ask you, or we can move in the breakout room. So for now, take a screenshot of this beautiful chart, the one, and I will show you a second one. Take a screenshot for now. You can download later. I put all 8 charts in the shared folder for you. That's the second one for trainer. So take a screenshot. So you have it on your computer. And I look at the time. Do we have time and capacity to go in the breakout room for 10 minutes?
Yes, we are actually right on time. We are right on time according to schedule.
Perfect.
And shall we share the Jamboard and just explain how that works?
Please.
Okay. Let's see here. You should see the Jamboard now. This is. I'll share the link in a minute.
Yes, exactly. You need the link. So with this link, you will land it in this Jamboard, which I created for you, and each room have his own slides. So you see above there's 1, 2, 3, 4, exactly, Gabriel. So in this slides, you can just share your ideas, and in later by harvesting, we all have access to all this information, and we will go through together. So you are just working collectively and on the slides in the breakout rooms. How does it sound for you? Good, great.
And if you can't join a breakout room, it's okay if you stay in the main room while we're in this exercise, and maybe you can make some notes for yourself along the way. So how do you, so there are 4 quadrants. How do you anticipate they would use these sticky notes?
Sticky notes, or on the left side, you have also text. You can take a text and write it something.
So I can click on the sticky note tool here,
exactly.
and I can type in something and then click save. And then you can move the sticky note wherever you would like, and putting it into different quadrants. Is that how you would?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect.
So that's a technical limit. And then if there's
but I would assume the technical limits is 3. It's quadrant wise. Is it?
Oh, you see, you have your aqual in your head, and every time we see quadrants, you just see aquals. No, it's nothing to do with this time.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so how do you see these numbers? That's a great question.
It's it was your unconscious competence, Katie. Beautiful. Unconscious competence. You are on the first stage of competences development. Great, thank you for sharing it. Forget the numbers. There was just I used the free Jamboard session for you, slides for you right now, and there was ready templates. So this is templates what I use. I only add my needs, resources, limits. So number 3 are needs, number 4 are resources, and limits I divide in 2 because they are limits regarding technical limits and some limits regarding human limits. So forget for the moment your integral aqua glasses, take it aside, and look also only of the thing about needs, resources, limits. And then we will come back and I will show you these competences which we find out, and I will talk about about challenges and benefits as wrapping up, summing up this session.
Got it.
Okay?
So needs is 3, resources is 4, and then limits is divided into 2 parts, technical and human limits. And then you can put the sticky notes in any one of these situations. And so I'll share the Jamboard. Make sure that if you're in a breakout room, that you choose the breakout room number that you're in from the slide at the top as your first step.
And if it doesn't work for any reason, come back to the main room. Because this session is also about sharing not only my knowledge about it, but also try something new you haven't tried before. So that's a practical part of it. So be curious, be open, try it. If it doesn't work, come back. No worries. You don't have to learn everything right now.
Sorry. So there is the link to the Jamboard, and here is the driving question. In order to develop and deliver online blended learning, what are your needs, resources, and limits?
Well, so welcome back, and beautiful. I would like to hear, instead of showing you another slides about the challenges and benefits, we just face it. And I'm here. I would like to hear from you what you have experiences in these breakout rooms. How was it?
And let us know which breakout room you were in.
I was in breakout room 2. And I think I've seen this tool maybe once before, but basically it was a great experience to feel the terror and overwhelm of a new thing that I have to do, to remember what it's like when I ask other people to do things and their first experience is, I can't do this, or what is this, or that overwhelmed feeling. It's great to feel it again.
Beautiful. It wasn't not on purpose. It wasn't my aim, but it's happened.
No.
But it's happened, and I'm very thankful that you get such experience, and it's very valuable what you have learned today with us. And I didn't plan it, but great. Thank you, Angela.
So for me, it was a mixture of good feelings and not so good feelings. So I had success writing my own notice piece. And then I did something double and I couldn't get rid of it. So yeah, I could experience my limit.
Which room were you in, Gertrude?
Room 2.
As well.
And I tried to get rid of this lack of time thing, which was double, and I couldn't. So yeah. So allow for mistakes or not knowing.
Somebody from, yeah, go ahead.
A little bit from room 3.
Excellent.
Because I think, you know, the lack of time that was in the previous slide, I think we experienced like the pressure that built on with like figuring out the technology and the limit of time to source everyone's, you know, experiences. And so the time pressure, and our conversation was a lot about the technical, like the overwhelm with the practicalities, and for everything to, you know, to work, the whole setup, you know, that you need to go into sign-ups and handling payments and, you know, sharing materials and creating group, and like the whole technological system that we need to really do something very on a high quality level. And, you know, just the way to deal with that and the overwhelm and choices that are in that. A lot of our conversation was around that.
Was that related to your experience of the Jamboard, or in general, or a program that you might develop?
Yeah, I think it was on all levels simultaneously almost, you know, so it's both experiencing it, but also our experiences, I guess, from our personal experiences with this, all of us had within that. And it was, yeah, so a lot of the conversation was focused around that, the different aspects of that.
And what did you decide in your group? Did you decide to focus on the task and leave the technology, or did you decide leave the task and focus on playing with the technology? What was your group decision?
I think I took a decision to share and start putting in so we could get something on the board and yeah, facilitate, or yeah, just get something in, and then everyone was sharing. So it was like a being in the experience and talking about our own experiences at the same time, I guess. And I guess on reflection, I took a decision to just get things on the board.
Beautiful. Good. Great learning experience. Thank you. Okay, I look at the time. We don't have actually the time, but we'll say instead of showing you one more presentation about benefits and challenges, we already have done it. We already have experiences it. And so, you know, I can wrap it up, and I can show you the last slides. I skipped 2 or 3 of them about the competences, but it's not the problem. It reminds me also what I was listening to you, and reminds me about my absolute favorite quotation from George Land. I will put it in the chat. Inventing the future requires giving up control. So no one with compelling purpose and a great vision knows how it will be achieved. One has to be willing to follow an unknown path, allowing the road to take you wherever it will. And surprise, serendipity, uncertainty, and the unexpected are guaranteed on the way to the future. So this I would like to share you in the chat, where we have chat here, as your takeaways from this session. And you already noticed, so benefits, when I talk with my students about benefits, all of them say that it's great because online learning, they have own schedule, they have opportunity to learn and connect wherever. You have internet, you can connect, you can learn. And they know students from all over the world with different cultural backgrounds. I'm into culture trainer, so this is added value for my students when they name it. But you can also see room for all. So all in one. I don't think that you need to be multitasking, but you can really do lots of things additionally to your online learning. So you spare time on different other things. The age is no barrier. I love intergeneration. Intergeneration. I love people coming not only from different culture, but having different ages. It was probably not possible in my face-to-face training. and I have only locals or I have only students. And now I have both. I have 22 and a 72 at the same time. So really, age is no barrier, no problem. And this world classroom is the best what happens to me through this integral online learning. But on the other side, online learning has also its challenges. So, and you have experiences it right now with me, and it's not only technology. That's online. This is not only technology. It's of course. Well, guys, if you don't have a strong internet connection, don't even dream about providing excellent, good quality online learning. If you do not feel insecure with all these apps and Jamba and Miro, don't even try to do it. And you don't have to. Actually, you don't have to. But you can also think when you added something new to your students, it will be really challenging for them to deal with it and to learn quickly. And what I am struggling actually with, what is my challenge, is the time management of my students and their motivation. How to keep them, and my train the trainer is the 1 year course. How to keep them for the 1 year to stick to the to this train the trainer, to stick to the learning. There is self-paced learning, there are material online, and keep them on track. This is one of the most challenges I was facing in the last year with the COVID, and it's still repeating. So my answer to it, how to overcome this challenge, I decide to make it, like this, how do they call it? Weight Watcher. You know, they do it in group. So this is the best motivation. Put it in the group. Trust in this pedagogy. Trust in the self-responsibility, self-directed learning. Trust that they will do it on their own when they are working together. And check with them with the live session once a month. So it's what I'm doing. So this is as wrapping up this session about online learning. It requires definitely motivation to complete tasks, to stay engaged, to make progress. And when you are surrounded with other peoples and instructors, it's make it easier. So because dropping rates is very high. I don't know if you're aware, it's like 90% people taking online courses dropping it. So the dropping rate is very, very high. So this is for me. Thank you, and I would say go and change the world.
Thanks a lot. Great job. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reto.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
I'm sorry I missed the beginning. I'll watch the recording.
Yes, and you will get my slides and everything else when Gabriel will share a link to the shared folder. I add everything what I was talking about, all these charts, all this competency framework, article on integral approach to education, and my handouts. So if everything is missing, just come back to me. You'll find my emails on the presentation. And I'm happy. Oh, exactly. I'm offering a free access to my online courses for you to just learn with me in this year. So if you want to have access, if you would like to join one of my classroom, I'm more than happy to have you. And I see it as additional added value to the courses and to my students when you would like to learn with us.
How can people join those courses?
Just drop me a mail, and I will answer with the free access.
And the email will be in the PDF that you send out?
I can put it May here.
That would be great for the people watching this replay.
Yeah.
So .com, that's my email address.
So
mail,
I will
send you this.
Great. If you put your email in the documentation in the folder that we will make available in the event access page, then people have that as well. So thank you, Anna, for a great session. It's been really fun and engaging for me. And I learned a lot as well. The facilitation is always not easy online, and we're always all learning together, aren't we? So yeah, with that said, I've put up a poll, so make sure and rate your experience. And if you want to download the Jamboard, I can quickly show you how that's done. I'll share my screen. And so if you want to go to the Jamboard to download one, go to the page that you'd like to download, and then from the More Actions button here next to Share, I would choose to download this as a PDF. So you have that link, it's available, and if you still have it up, go ahead and download it. And well, we have a little break now, but let's see what's coming up on that agenda for the day. We have lunchtime coming up, and there will be a lunchtime socializer in an hour. If you want to eat lunch with the other participants, join them in the lunchtime socializer room in 30 minutes. And then join us this afternoon for 2 keynote sessions. We have one with Gabor Mate. He'll be talking about beyond biology, mind, body, and health and illness. And then we have Mark Foreman, the monster's journey from trauma to connection. And as always, we have live music as well. So with that said, feel free to unmute yourself again and thank Anna in your own way.
Thank you, Anna, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jero, also for
Thank
supporting
you.
us.
You're welcome. Glad
Thank
to
you,
have
Mark.
you with
Go and
us.
fly.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.